Hey guys, happy Friday. I hope you guys are doing wonderful today. We are almost, about 2 weeks out from the new year, which is crazy. This year absolutely flew by. So we have our special guest here, Phyllis Johnson, and she is the founder of PKJ Consulting. She's a certified, what is it, QuickBooks? Is it QuickBooks Advisor?
Yes.
Yes. Awesome, awesome. So she's going to be joining us, but I just want to give a few announcements before we hop in, guys. So we're going to be talking about some good stuff. So for those of you that are coming on live, drop your questions below. For those of you that are watching this on replay, please make sure that you drop those questions below, because accounting is one of those scary things. Accounting and finances in general is one of those scary things that people really kind of put off, don't want to deal with. And she's going to give you guys some really good information today. If you have a small business, if you're an entrepreneur, know your numbers, guys. You should know this stuff. So she's going to drop some jewels on you guys. So before we hop into that, I want to talk a little bit about our mentorship program that will be launching next month. I'm super excited because this is something that it just came out of nowhere. So over the years, you guys and I've been doing this for a couple years now, and I'm always big on giving value and giving information and educating everyone, but particularly with clients. So how to hire a virtual assistant, how to make their life easier, basically how to outsource the smart way. So over the years, well, I would say more so this year, I've been approached by people that are wanting to start a virtual assistant career. And I'm like, cool, I'll answer your questions. I've had a lot of people ask me if I was a mentor, and I'm like, no, or do I have anything? I was like, I'm not a coach. I don't do any of that stuff. So the calling just kind of came from that. I'm like, well, enough people are asking me, let me provide that need, right? So let me fill that void. So I will be launching that, where basically it's going to be subscription based. So it's not a course, not at all. It's actually going to be a paid Facebook group. We'll have 3 different tiers. And so I'm going to basically teach you how to jumpstart and launch your virtual assistant career. So if you're looking to make money from home, if you're a stay-at-home mom, if you're just looking to make some extra money, that you can do it from anywhere in the world. All you need is a computer and some good Wi-Fi, and you can make it happen. So I'm going to show you guys how to do that. I'm super excited about that. And another announcement I have is, if you do not leverage Facebook to grow your business, build your business, you need to make sure that you understand the platform and start to leverage it. The platform is absolutely free, and it has so many amazing features that I take advantage of, and quite honestly have grown my business, just on Facebook alone, not LinkedIn, not Instagram, not anything else, but it was started on Facebook for me. And so I recommend you guys leverage the platform. We have a Facebook makeover bundle coming out. So we're going to be optimizing your personal and business Facebook pages, and it's a ton of trainings. And I'm actually partnering on and collaborating with Shantae Roddy on this project. So if you scroll down on the timeline on Jasmine & Co, you'll see we've been doing some really amazing, some like educational, informational lives, just talking about how you can use Facebook to make money. So one of our topics was how to get paid in the DM. I know that I've gotten paid in the DM a ton of times. There's a lot of features in the messenger, or I just have that conversation. We take it off, and then they become a client, or I make a great collaboration with someone, or whatever the case may be. So if you have a business and you're not using Facebook to leverage it, grow it, make strategic relationships, like, you are missing out. And so I definitely recommend that, if you're trying to get more leads and you're struggling, if you're just on Facebook, like literally just on there, but you're not really out there doing what you need to do, I recommend you take advantage of the Facebook makeover bundle that we have that will be dropping on December the 19th. So those are the 2 big announcements that I have for you guys. We're going to go ahead and hop in. You guys, I don't like to hold you long. I just want to get the information out for you guys so that you have it. And so, Phyllis, I'm going to kind of let you hop in. So I want you to tell us all about you and how amazing you are. And then let's talk about this accounting, because even for me, I still struggle. Like, numbers is not my thing. It's my weakness. And I've learned so much from Phyllis since I met her, and actually how we met, which is funny. If you guys don't remember, we met here on the show last year. So we met on this show. We instantly clicked, and we have done webinars since then. It has been an amazing experience having her in my circle and as a support person and accountability partner as well. We keep each other like accountable for everything we need to be doing and that we're responsible for in our businesses. So I'm going to go ahead and let her take it away, and let's go ahead and hop into this conversation.
Well, hello, everybody. My name is Phyllis Johnson. I am the owner and CEO of PKJ Consulting, coming up on 5 years next month. So I'm excited. It's so I run an accounting and consulting business. I am located here in Las Vegas, but 90% of my clients are outside of Las Vegas. So we do accounting, payroll, taxes, bookkeeping, startup business plans, LLC set up, pretty much a one-stop shop for business owners. I'm super excited to be here today. In a couple hours, actually, I am going to the business opening of one of my clients. I met them when they just had an idea to open up this vegan market here in Las Vegas, and today is their grand opening. So it's just really exciting for me when I work with a client from an idea all the way to like opening day, and now I'm doing their HR and accounting and just that excitement. So very excited to be here. And also, Jasmine had pointed out Facebook and leveraging Facebook. Guys, if you have not signed up for her program, we literally met a year ago today on Facts and Snacks. One of my goals for 2019 was to do more speaking engagements and things of that nature. And so I found this and I signed up for it. And then literally was like about a year ago around this time where I did Facts and Snacks and I was talking about QuickBooks and accounting. And like she said, since then we've done collaborations and webinars. We're doing a vision board, our second annual on January 18th. And so guys, I mean, she is amazing. She's all over Facebook. She's good at what she does. So please sign up for that and also sign up for her virtual program to learn how to be a VA because she's really good at what she does. So please always
Yes. So,
support those types of things. So I so I mean, I'm happy to be here today, and kind of go through all the fun stuff when it comes to numbers. And yeah.
yay, girl, you are too. That's awesome. No, you became just somebody on the show to a friend, and I love it. And I challenge you guys, which we talk about this a lot in all of the other lives, is meet a couple of new people a week. Well, have a virtual coffee chat. You should be meeting someone new, seeing how you guys can help one another, seeing how you guys can collaborate and make money together. And that's what it's all about. And Phyllis and I, that's exactly what we did this year. We just hopped into it. It was no waiting. It was like, hey, we complement each other well. Let's make this happen. So I challenge you guys to do the same thing. You never know where that relationship may lead or what you get out of it. So I first want to talk about okay, an aspiring business owner, somebody that may be under a year. What are some of the things that we need to be looking at when it comes to just accounting in general, bookkeeping, maybe even, taxes? What are some of those things that we kind of need to be looking for when, we're wearing 50 hats and we have all these things going on, and really accounting is at the bottom of the list because we're trying to get money, so can you kind of walk us through that?
Sure. So, I mean, like she said, the first thing people are trying to do is get money and get going. But really, the first dollar that you spend on your business, you should be keeping track of. Now, no, I will never recommend that when you just start your business to go get some fancy software like QuickBooks or anything like that. If anyone tells you that, run away fast. But you definitely, because you don't want to spend money if you don't need to. However, you
Exactly.
do need to create a spreadsheet, a Google Doc, a folder with receipts, whatever it is that you use. Maybe you open up another bank account. Maybe you can't open up a business bank account just yet, but just open up a second personal checking account until you get to that point and just have that one location for your business expenses. The reason is you are trying to do a million things. You're trying to figure out what business license you need. How are you going to do your marketing? How are you going to do clients? Where you're going to be located if you're getting a brick and mortar? How am I going to get clients if I'm only online? What am I going to use for all these different things cost money. And so a lot of times you're swiping that card, swiping this card, swiping that card. You're not keeping track. Well, every year you still have to file taxes. And so a lot
Yeah.
of times we're leaving money on the table in terms of claiming those business expenses that we use to start up our business because we don't know where they are. I mean, I don't know about you guys. I'm amazing with numbers, but if you ask me, what I spent in February of 2019 at 10 a.m., I'm not going to have any clue until I look at my numbers and I can tell you exactly what I spent. But if you're not keeping track, there's no way to do that. So, why leave money on the table if you don't need to? Now, secondly, if you're not good with numbers, and that's just something you've never been good at, when you start a business and you're in your personal life, you're not good at numbers, you're not going to be good at numbers in your business as well. So take a course, guys. I mean, there's so many courses. Find a consultant like myself, book a 1 hour session with someone just to even get an idea of how to improve on your personal life. As many small business owners find out, the first thing that happens when they apply for a loan is they want your numbers. And then they're going to look at your personal FICO score to make certain determinations in terms of business loans. They want to know, okay, you want to open this business. What are you doing on your personal side? And if your personal business is just messed up, you're not paying your bills, you have loans, you have defaults, you have all these things, it's impossible to get a loan. Or you'll get one, but that interest rate will be 18, 20, 25, and it will be insane that what you need to pay back. So, you know, really start keeping track of your numbers. Find someone, pay them a couple hours, $100 or so, just to at least kind of start that process.
I like that. And so I want to touch on something. Everything you said was good. So I hope you guys are taking notes, right? So again, if you're coming on live, come on in, come and join us. And if you're watching this on the replay, drop your questions below. We will come back and answer them, I promise. So let's talk about the bookkeeping. So obviously, we're in the first year of our business. Let's say hypothetically, we're in the first year of our business, and we're trying to listen to what you're saying. So I'm watching you right now. I'm like, okay, I'm going to start tracking everything. I don't know how to do bookkeeping. I'm not really good with numbers. So do I just use a Google sheet? Like, what does that look like as far as like bookkeeping, if I'm doing it myself, if I can't really afford to hire anyone?
So if you're doing yourself, I mean, there's a lot of good software programs. For example, there's Mint, and what Mint is, it's keeps track of all your money. So your personal checking, your credit cards, even if you have assets like a car, all you have to do is sign up. It's free, and then it drops in all of your information. Another thing is if you like spreadsheets or something like that, you could use a Google spreadsheet. You can use a Microsoft Excel, or on any basic level. If you have kids, print out your receipts, have it as a project. These kids know computers better than a lot of us do at this point. Have them, create something for you that just, helps you keep track. Another thing I would suggest is, someone like myself, I offer consultations with clients who say, okay, I want to do my own bookkeeping, but I have no freaking clue. So I bought QuickBooks, or I bought Mint, or I bought Xero, or I bought all these different software programs, and I have no clue. I offer a 1 hour consultation. You pay for it. We do a Zoom meeting, such as, one where you're live. And for that 1 hour, we go through your direct questions, and I help you to understand your business and to make sure you're putting in the foundation to be able to track it yourself. And then you can go ahead and do it. And then over time, you drop in. I have clients who I don't talk to for a couple months, but when they need to, they just book another session with me, and I'm able to jump back in and kind of get them back on track. And so it doesn't have to be costly. What's costly is when you get that letter from the IRS because you haven't filed taxes, and they're leveraging penalties and interest against you, because they will. Don't think just because you didn't get that letter this year that it's not going to come. At some point it does happen, and when it does, all the penalties and interest will be there. So it's a lot cheaper to spend maybe $200-300 in the course of a year to kind of make sure you're on track than it is to end up paying the IRS $2,000-3,000.
I love that. And so would that be considered a write-off?
Yes. So anytime you hire someone like myself, I am an accountant. I have my own business. I am a tax write-off. I'm helping you with your business. So anything that you pay myself, or even Jasmine as, assistant or anything like that, it's a tax write-off. So, why spend money on all these costly things, trying out different software programs, or, maybe opening up in the wrong location. You're doing all these things to start your business, but making the wrong business decisions, it only costs you money in the long run. I can give another example of a client. He's been in business for over a year, and then got a letter that said he didn't have the right business license. And so they shut down his whole business, and he couldn't make any money until he got that license. And what was one of the requirements of the license? Financial statements. And so he had to hire someone like myself to go through a whole year's worth of accounting to create these financial statements. And it's costly to do rush projects like that. Now think of it as if he had already had someone doing the bookkeeping, or was already taking care of it. He got that letter, turned the information in. He wouldn't have been out of business for 6 weeks.
I love that. Guys, I hope you're listening, because I'm over here listening and taking notes. Oh my gosh. that that is so important, guys. So again, as business owners, as small business owners, solopreneur, entrepreneurs, we need to be as cost effective as possible. And so you can't run away from your numbers. You can't run away from your financials, your accounting. It's always going to be there. That is the drive of your business. So everything Phyllis is saying, don't take it lightly. You guys need to keep up with your books. And so she named off a few softwares, Mint, Zero. But what I would recommend is just booking a consultation with her. Book a consultation with Phyllis or someone like Phyllis to help get you on the right track. Don't try to figure it out yourself, because you're probably not going to do it right. And you're going to have to come back and, like Phyllis gave some really good examples, and pay all this money that it could have been done right in the first place, or at least you'll be on the right track. So don't take it lightly, guys. Get your numbers together in your bookkeeping. Don't wait till last minute. So I'm guilty of that. I'll tell you what happened. I had not kept up with anything, not a dollar. Phyllis came on the show last year, and I was like, you know what, like, I need to do better. We had a good conversation. She had to go back for like a year and a half, 2 years, and help with everything that I've spent. Now, do you think that I remember what I spent back in 2017? Absolutely not. Let alone what I spent last month on that Tuesday, like at 2 o'clock or 10 o'clock in the morning. So it's important that you keep up with your receipts, especially for those of you that have billable hours like per diem for driving, just other things like that with your clients or whatever the case may be. You need to keep up with all of that, all of your receipts. If you don't have a paper receipt, get a what is it? An emailed receipt, a PDF, or if you can only get a paper receipt, there are tools out there that can help you to get that on the computer for you. Cam scanner. What else? There's a million more where you literally can just put the receipt down, take your phone, take a picture of it. So if you lose that sheet of paper, it doesn't matter. You still have, you still have it, create a folder, keep yourself organized. So these are things that you're going to have to take the time out to, you have to make time for it. I know we're all busy. Trust me, we all are, but you have to make time for this stuff. So I hope you're taking notes. So let's see, what else did I want to cover? What else do you have? I mean, we kind of covered the points I wanted to cover on quicker than I thought. So what other advice can you give us about just accounting and bookkeeping, or even like taxes for small business owners?
Sure. So, what she said as far as taking the receipts takes time, it doesn't. And I say that because I want, as you're watching this, think about how many times you take out your phone to take a selfie or a picture of something random and you post it, you find this perfect meme. And come on, when you take a selfie, you don't just immediately upload it. You want to crop out the background. We do all this stuff just to put stuff on social media. It takes 2 seconds to snap that same receipt. When you're out to dinner with this cute guy, you want to take a picture as you're at the restaurant. Okay, we'll take a picture of the business receipt. And literally, if you have a software such as QuickBooks, take a picture, you push a button, it uploads to your software. So you don't even have to worry about that. And the other thing about taking time, I want people to think about this. It is very key. And I always tell people this. You're busy running around trying to do the bookkeeping yourself, and you have no clue. You're busy trying to do accounting. You're busy trying to do payroll. You're busy trying to send invoices out and all this stuff. That's not your expertise. So you're spending time away from going out and building your business, your restaurant, your e-commerce business, your nail salon, your hair salon. You love to do hair. You want to open a salon, but you're trying to also in the back end figure out, where you should book the software program. Why? You're taking time away from going to get a client. If it's taking you 2-3 hours just to figure out how to type in information, that 2-3 hours you could be making $400, $500, $600 by getting clients. So why not hire an expert who's going to take 10 minutes to do what's going to take you an hour or two to do? It doesn't make any logical sense at all when you think about it. A lot of us are like, well, we just want to do everything ourselves. Okay, but there's only 24 hours in a day. So do you want to make $1,000 of what you're good at, or do you want to just sit there and literally waste money, because then you end up doing it wrong a lot of times unless you really understand it, and then you got to go back and hire someone anyway. It just doesn't make sense. If you really want to grow your business, you need to hire people. I mean, I had to do the same thing when I first started my business. I was accounting, HR, marketing, email, I was customer service, I was everybody, and that's great. But at some point you hit a wall because you can't take on more clients because you only have 24 hours in a day, or you're making stupid mistakes because you only have 24 hours in a day. And so when
Yeah.
you start to hire people to do what they're an expert at, whether it's marketing, email, customer, you hire those experts. Then you have more time to really hone in on, how do I grow my business? How do I do this properly? With my clients, I give them their monthly financial statements. Now, do they always look at them? Well, they really don't. But some of it, but the fact that they know that everything is up to date. And a lot of times, I have clients who, they're busy running their business, but they know things are getting taken care of. However, when they do finally need something, and they get this email from a loan person or whoever, or they want to do investments with something, or they're just curious of how much they paid this independent contractor because it's not working out. They send me an email, Phyllis, I need this report. Within 24 hours, they get that report. Now, imagine if they were not tracking that information and they're trying to figure out, well, how much did I pay this person? Or what is this? Or I'm trying to get a loan. And now they can't do any of this stuff because they don't have that information readily available. You want to make sure that you have those people that are doing that, so that when the opportunity happens, it's there. And we keep talking about expenses, but let's talk about sales side of things, in terms of invoicing and things of that nature. I have clients who, they try to do the invoicing themselves, and then they also do the collections themselves. And it's a horrible thing because you are forgetting, you don't have a process in place. So I have
Yeah.
clients who will hire me and they have this invoice that is 6 months due. And I'm like, okay, we could try to collect on it. But what if we had already had a process in place that said, we send this invoice out 7 business days later, we send a reminder. After 7 days, we send, something that now it's a process. They're respecting you because you have an accountant who's taking care of these things, versus you're realizing 6 months later you didn't send this invoice. I want you to picture in your personal life, when you get these bills from 6 months later, you're like, okay, why are they sending this to me so late? Are you jumping in to pay it tomorrow? No, you're
Yeah.
like, I ain't paying this because they took so long to send to me. They must not want their money. So, you really want to make sure you're not leaving money on the table. I have so many clients that I'm like, this person that you're sending an invoice to is out of business. So they're not ever going to pay you. And why just leave money on the table like that? Now, of course, we're at the end of the year. And this is the fun time for me because this is when I get all these clients who haven't done accounting in all year. And, it's like, oh, crap, it's tax season next month. It's tax season every month, to be honest with you. And so if you have people like Jasmine, who I do her accounting and bookkeeping, I could tell you right now, if she would get a refund or anything of that nature, you want that ease of mind to know that tax day is just another day. You don't really want to be stressing out about it or getting shocked that you owe, all this money, or shock or anything like that. It should just be something simple.
Yeah.
And you also want to look at your business structure. Are you an LLC? Are you an S Corp? Are you a C Corp? Are you a sole prop? What should you be? These are very critical questions because each one determines what how you're going to do your taxes, what tax forms you need to do, all of that information. And so I also want to say that do your taxes yourself if you can, but when you are an LLC or an S Corp, don't. I mean, is it, you're trying to save two, three, $400, but that costly mistake that you get from the IRS and you get that letter, is it worth the $200-300 that you could have saved in the first? It just makes no sense. And don't
Oh,
let it's just, just really make good business decisions. You want to work with people who know all the new tax laws because they're always changing. Every year there's something new that's coming out. There's something that's expiring. And when you're working with people who don't know that information, then you're not getting the best tax return that you possibly can get.
oh man, I have so many things to say. So I'm going to try to break it down or to touch on or comment or whatever you want to call it off of what you said. So you said a couple of key things. One of them you said was outsourcing. So everyone knows I'm an outsourcing queen. I'm big on outsourcing. I'm like, hey, if you want to grow your like truly grow your business, you have to scale. It's no choice, right? Again, Phyllis mentioned it, outsourcing your accounting and your bookkeeping. Why have the headache? You need to budget for that. Just like you would budget for a virtual assistant, just like you would budget for a social media manager. Again, without numbers, you have no business. So keep that in mind. So maybe before you outsource some of these other things, you probably need to maybe outsource the accounting first if you know that's not your deal and you really don't know, like absolutely don't know what you're doing. And Another point too is there are a lot of people out there that do taxes, right? With accounting, you want to find someone that specializes in small businesses. And one of the reasons, that Phyllis can touch on this, is because they're going to know what to write off. They're going to be able to go through and be like, you can write this off and write this. Like, if you just go to a regular person, they may or may not know those things. So there are tax specialists that are specialized in different things, like trucking, right? My husband and I had a trucking company. So we went to an accountant and a tax person that specialized in truck drivers. It made sense. So Phyllis, she specializes in small business accounting. So you want someone like her on your side because she understands and she's going to be able to truly help you, right? So that's one of the things I want to point out. And the outsourcing was the other thing. You said one more thing. So yeah, like Phyllis mentioned, I was a wreck last year coming into this show. I was a complete wreck. And I've been working with her almost a while, and it's been amazing because I was the same thing she's saying. I was doing the invoicing, I was doing the follow-up. I have an agency, so I was trying to pay my team, I was trying to pay myself, I was trying to do stuff that I had no clue what I was doing. I hate numbers, I'm not good at numbers, so why am I doing this? I preach outsourcing all the time, have been from the beginning, and I wasn't doing it. I was only doing it with like marketing and some other things. And I'm like, when she came on the show, I was like, there's no doubt in my mind that this is what I need. And I'm telling you, best decision I've made, guys. Like, I don't have to touch a finger. I know what's going on. I get my reports. We have our meetings and calls. She helps me understand, she does my profit and loss statement so I can understand what's going on. It's something you need to have. So if you can budget for that, that is one of the things I would probably outsource first before you bring on a virtual assistant or any of these other things, is to get your numbers ready in order. She'll also help you, which helped me. Like, I have these contractors, they're different rates, flat rates, hourly rates, all this stuff to help say, okay, should I hire another person or should I not? Like, she helps with so many things. Your projections, like, she'll check in. Did you reach your goals? Like, just a ton of support that if you just go and get your taxes from somebody else, that you're not going to get. So I highly recommend her 100% just because I worked with her. And yeah, outsourcing is the key. So you touched on that big time. And you guys want to outsource to somebody that is a specialist in what you have going on. So I want to touch on those. So that's really good.
Thank you.
Yeah. Thank you. Okay. So I guess we covered a lot, guys. I hope you're taking notes. Again, if you're watching on replay, drop your questions below. We've had a few people coming in and out, which is wonderful. If you guys have questions while you're on, please drop those below. No shame in the game. You can break the ice. I know people are scared to ask that question. They don't want to break the ice. Okay, but guess what? You're being inquisitive because you want to learn and you want to do better. You want your business to grow. So no question is a dumb question. Please ask those questions. So I want to ask just a couple more things. So the next thing, I kind of want to shift gears a little bit. What is one thing, because we always talk about inspiration and intrinsic motivation, right? And that ties in with everything that we do while we started our business, where we are, our mindset, all of these things. What is your drive? What keeps you motivated to keep pushing? What keeps you inspired? Because you've been in business 5 years, which is amazing. Anybody that reaches over a year, 2 years, 3 years, I'm just like, salute to you, because it's hard. As they say, it's hard out there in these streets. It's tough, it's so challenging, and it's an up and down roller coaster. One day I'm like, oh my gosh, we're doing amazing. The next day I'm like, I'm quitting today. Like, it's just that thing. So what keeps you pushing through with your business?
Honestly, it's always been a passion of mine to work with small business owners. Like, even as a kid, growing up in the Bay Area, I would see all these small businesses and I would, go in there and they'd be amazing and then they would be closed. And so I never understood why. Like, if you're an amazing seamstress or you're great at, cooking, why is your business closing? And I started to, ask my mom, and I would do research, and it was never that they weren't great at what they did. It was the back end stuff. It was their accounting, it was their HR, it was their operations, it was their process flow, and so I just was always intrigued in that. And so really a lot of times it's my small business owners that keep me going. But also on a personal side, I love what I do, but I have a daughter, and when I was working in corporate America, great pay. I never had any issues with that, but it was on their schedule, so you go into an office sometimes 6, 7 in the morning, and I'm workaholic. I'm not, I can't lie. And so sometimes I'd be there 8, 9 o'clock at night. And so I'm missing key things. I'm missing, her getting awards. I'm missing these ceremonies that I can't go to. And she would only be in second grade one time, third grade one time. There's only one time for these things. And,
Exactly.
the last job I had, I realized we were just numbers. Like they would hire someone on Tuesday and then fire them on Thursday. And it's like, okay, this person literally went through this whole process to get this job and you just discarded them like trash in essence. And so, I really wanted to spend time with my daughter, to be honest with you. And so what keeps me going is the fact that every Tuesday and Thursday we can get up and we do our little daily walks. And I don't have to clock in. We could do them, whenever. I could take her to school. If I could pick her up when I choose to. If there's an award ceremony, I'm at every award ceremony. Even during tax season, I am there. It doesn't matter. Those are days I cannot get back. And so, my motivation really is the ability to create what I want to create, work with whoever I want to work with, to make those decisions. Because no matter how amazing you are at your job, and you may think that you are just, getting all this, everything's great, but really, unfortunately, we're all disposable and you really do not have the full control, and so for me, that's really what my drive is.
Boom. Oh my God, I love that. So, for those of you that think about giving up or that you feel like someone's not going through what you're going through, you heard it from Phyllis. Like, look at all of her reasons on what keeps her going. What are yours? I challenge you to just think about that and sit back and reflect. What's your intrinsic motivation? What keeps you going? And so when you are struggling or, in your business, or it's just not that time when you're making your $10,000, $20,000 a month, just think about that. That's what's going to keep you pushing, so that you don't have to go back to a situation that you don't want to be in. And like Phyllis said, be on someone else's time. Like, I hate that. Like, was never for me. That's why I was never a good employee, ever, ever, ever. I love that. Okay. So the last thing I have, this has been amazing. I love it. It's always good with us catching up and just, having a good conversation. Well, actually, two things. So we want to talk about the webinar, but before that, do you have any last tips, tricks, advice, suggestions to our audience about accounting, bookkeeping, or taxes, or anything? And make sure you guys go, Phyllis, go back to the live is on my page. Go drop your information where they can book the consultation. But yeah, any last tips or tricks for the audience before we go?
My tips, tricks, in essence, is, find that person that you can work with. Number one, don't give up, and don't ignore it. Don't ignore the numbers. They are always there. You started your business, even if it's a nonprofit, to make money. Your bank
Yep.
account will never tell you how much money you have, because if you always have bills coming out and people to pay, or there's always money coming in, your bank account really never gives you a snapshot of what your business is. It is critical to keep track of your information and your numbers. And and remember what your passion is. Write it on the wall. It's going to get hard. I have clients, no matter what, there are always going to be hard times. There are going to be times where there's not enough money in the bank and you're not going to be able to get that loan. But think about that job where maybe you got fired because of something you didn't do, or you had to quit because you got sick. It's always going to be, a wheel. And, one thing I've learned in my own process, is that put myself, and I told Jasmine this the other day, when things get rough, what you do is sit back and think, 6 months from now, this is probably not
Yeah.
even going to be something that I'm stressing about. Or even think 6 months ago, was it, all these things, everything's a day to day thing that really, in
Mhm.
essence, in the whole grand scheme of life, do you really remember that huge stress about, trying to get these numbers or whatever 5 years ago? Probably not, if you're doing
Yeah.
the right thing. So that's just my advice to people who, are in that stress mode of not wanting to keep going.
I love that. Okay. And so before we fully close out, we want to talk a little bit about what we have coming up, our second annual online vision board webinar. So if you have never made a vision board, you may not even know what it is. I invite you to come out. So a vision board, I'll let Phyllis kind of take it from here, but we're having that next month on the 18th, right? Saturday, January 18th at 10 a.m. Pacific time, 12 p.m. Central time, and that'll be 1 p.m. Eastern time. 11 p.m. Mountain Time.
Yes.
So make sure you guys come out. We will be posting about it. So just watch our page. If you're following us, we'll definitely have everything on there. So talk to us a little bit more, or let's talk. It's both of us about what a vision board is and why it's important. And it's helped me this year so much because I always went back to look at it and I hit every single goal on my vision board. So I'm so happy about that.
Beautiful. So a vision board is really, in essence, it is a way to just pause and think about what you want your year to be. It's a way to say, what are my goals for the year? And it's something that people can create visually. We all have our checklists and our task lists and that fun stuff, but you can just look at it. And so, like she said, she accomplished all of her goals. How amazing is that? And so this is our second annual vision board event. And I actually do a guest speaking one here in Vegas, and I think it's my 4th or 5th year. And what we go through is the process of how do you create a vision board? What does that mean? What is the law of attraction? How looking at that vision board and keeping yourself accountable is going to help you accomplish some of those goals. For example, my word of 2019 was automation. And so I started doing things. How do I automate some of my processes so that I don't even have to think about them? And just like Jasmine said, she's accomplished it. And so this year with the vision board, I had people who, afterwards booked a consultation. And so, one of the people that I worked with, she paid off all of her debt. She got her own apartment, she lost weight. And so all these goals that she was able to hit, because not only did she create her vision board, she found an accountability partner to help her accomplish those goals. So Jasmine and I are going to be able to do that vision board. Like I said, it's on Saturday, January 18th, and we'll be doing it via Zoom. We'll be sending out that information, and we'll be able to share our stories, but also we want to hear from you as well. Thanks.
Absolutely. Yeah, guys. So more information on that. We don't have the link now, so we're working on that. So by next week, if you just come back to the page at some point next week, it'll be on there. We'll have the link for you guys to sign up and join, and we would love to have you. Even if you can't make it, go ahead and sign up so that we can send you the replay in case you can't make it. So it has been fun, very, very informative, guys. Thank you so much, Phyllis, for being here with us. I hope you guys wrote down your questions, or for those of you that are watching this on the replay, seriously, drop your questions below, or feel free to reach out to Phyllis. She's going to drop her link down below. So make sure you go book a consultation with her. Remember, guys, the announcements I mentioned earlier, our mentorship program is launching in January 2020. I'm so excited about that, as well as if you need to optimize and leverage your Facebook pages, right? And if you're looking for some trainings, we have our Facebook makeover bundle that is dropping on December the 19th. I'm collaborating and partnering with Shantae Roddy on that. So you guys make today productive, make the rest of this weekend, even next week productive. We don't have a lot of time until going to the new year. So let's go into the new year on the right foot. Let's not make the same mistakes and bring those bad habits from 2019 into the new year. So just take some time to sit and reflect on that. Make time. Don't say you're too busy. Make time, sit down, write your goals out, and definitely join us at our online vision board webinar next month. So we will see you then, guys. Take it easy. I'll talk to you guys next week. Bye-bye.
Bye. Thank you.